Hello and welcome to Spooning with me, Mark Wogan. Each week I'm joined here at the Mount Street restaurant by a very special guest, where Jamie Shears, executive chef, cooks up a couple of spoons to challenge the food they think they love and the food that they think they hate. The difference is they will be trying these spoons blindfolded. Taking on the spoons this week is a man who, arguably he's got by on his looks, but it is my pleasure to welcome today David Gandy.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
You're looking well. Do you ever not look well?
This morning, I look it, not feel it. 2 young children to make sure that I'm sleep deprived, and but no, I have my days of. This is all fake, by the way. It's just fake tan.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Just to steal you a little, I've got you your favourite drink there, which is a gin and tonic. I don't know if it's too early for you.
Never
too
it's 11
early.
o'clock somewhere. 11 o'clock here.
Never too early.
Well, thank you.
Now, you are an Essex man.
I am.
I have a great affection for the county of Essex because it's where my wife is from.
Ah, okay.
Can you explain to me, right, why does Essex produce so many bloody good-looking people? I mean, because, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 of the top male models that ever were are from Essex. So there was Paul Sculfer, Oliver Cheshire, and you.
I'm not sure if Ollie is, actually.
Isn't he?
No.
I think he certainly sounds like he is.
He married an Essex girl.
He married an Essex Pixie Lot.
My best friend married an Essex girl. It's...
So whereabouts in Essex are you from originally?
I'm from Billericay.
Billericay.
Born in Basildon, brought up in Billericay. You can't really get more Essex than that.
No, you can't. I mean, my wife's sort of more northeast London. I mean, she's Woodford Green.
That's not Essex.
She'd say otherwise. She'd
want to be Essex. That's,
And when I was at home and going through the list of people I was going to be lucky enough to interview, your name came up. You are aware of the strange effect that you have on people, aren't you?
on yourself.
We'll get to that later. But I mean, my wife pretty much ignores anything I do. Your name came up. She goes, "Oh, I might be free that day." And, I was having a conversation with a mate about it. And we said, if we reacted like that, perhaps to a member of the opposite sex, we'd be in the spare bedroom for weeks. But it seems it's okay when it comes to you to express what can only be described as dormant lust.
Also, don't argue with an Essex girl.
No. Absolutely. There's a side there. There's a side there you don't want to get into.
She can do what she likes.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, you found modelling via This Morning with Richard and Judy, which I have a vague affiliation to as well. The lovely Richard and Judy.
Yeah.
You didn't have any intention of modelling, did you?
No, I didn't know anything about it. I mean, the same as everyone else does. There's a mystery around the. And
did you think? Did you suspect that you had what it took to become the biggest male model in the world?
No, not at all. It was a matter of sort of circumstance, really. Opportunity came up. I still say to this day, at university, I had 3 modules to do to finish university. I was over it. I was done.
What were you studying?
Computing, multimedia, marketing.
Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. That was
interesting
me.
stuff.
That was me, and I still remember the class, MM 101, and I sat there with a lot of geeky, clever people on their computer, and I came off like 2 weeks of freshers week, and I went, oh dear me, I've made a terrible error here. But quite, astute into the world we're living now, with the whole world is run by multimedia and coding and everything else. So clearly I thought it through.
But hold on, it didn't turn out that bad for you. Because having appeared on This Morning, it then went stratospheric quite quickly, didn't it?
No, not quickly at all. 5 years. No, plugged away. 5 years.
I'm a 5-year overnight success.
Yeah. Literally just like that. No, it was. I didn't do badly. I did the industry. I wasn't the. Should I say like the trend at the time was very skinny, androgynous guys. That wasn't me. Even though I was smaller back then, because I was a lot younger. But everything goes in circles. And so I did okay. But I'm always someone, if you do something, and hopefully you're going to do it to be the best at it. And that's what I wanted to basically achieve.
Now, I read this about you, and that is your sort of MO is like, if I'm doing something, I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities. And your first ever job was a pizza delivery boy. You see, now you're talking about a subject close to my own heart, because I do own Home Slice Pizza.
Okay.
So down here, I've got a Home Slice Pizza box.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine I am a customer. Right, you're delivering. I want to see how you did it better than anyone else.
You shouldn't have folded this, because between deliveries, there were stacks of the boxes, and they would go and fold the boxes. And actually, my 40th birthday, me and my best friend, we were both the pizza deliverers. We were in France skiing, and we looked at them and he said, "Oh, you reckon you still got it?" I went, "I still got it." All 5 boxes, and we timed each other, and everyone was like, "What are you two doing? That's very impressive, actually."
There is an art to it. I mean, I can do it. Damn, we should have got more pizza boxes. We could have had a fold off.
The best line. I was always, I think, very polite, and you knew your best customers, you knew your best tippers, so they would get their pizzas warm. A friend of ours came in. He didn't need to do the pizza delivering. I don't know why he was doing it. He was quite well off, but he came to do it. I think he turned up in his dad's Mercedes to deliver the pizzas, and he was useless, absolutely useless. He's gone on to be very, very successful in the city, but he couldn't deliver pizza. And he came back once, and he couldn't find the address. And he handed over the pizza, and they said, "My pizza's cold." And he said, "Yeah, but your Coke's warm, so if you're off." So
imagine I am the customer at home.
Yes.
I've answered the door. Hello. So you're delivering the
I'd be
pizza.
terrified to answer the door like that.
Okay. All right. Hi.
Well, we got home slice pizza, sir. Margarita.
Yes, that's me.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Will you be expecting a tip?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let me
No,
go.
you never say that, of course. Never say that. But I am a very good tipper now. That has made me, when people deliver stuff, probably overcompensate. Anyone who delivers something, I try and give someone a tip. That's
I agree with you, and I think everybody, to a certain degree. Would you like some pizza? I've put it back down.
I'll have a pizza.
Okay. Well, while I'm telling you this next bit, here, have some pizza. So, there we go. That is home slice pizza for you there. Have you ever had home slice pizza before?
I can't say I have, actually.
Oh,
but
you
also,
haven't
one of the great things about after your shift of delivery, it could be like 1 o'clock in the morning, is you got to make your own pizza.
So you can make pizza.
I mean, I can't.
So hold on. You can deliver pizza, and you can make pizza. Look, if
they're difficult tasks, really.
If the Wellwear doesn't go well,
Is there a job?
there's a job. You can come work for us.
Thank goodness.
I think it might be good for business. So, gin and tonic, pizza.
Gotcha. Right.
Now, when you filled out your questionnaire before coming on here about the food,
Yeah.
you
Just making sure it's
claimed you're a man who would eat pretty much anything, with the exception of piranha.
I have it, piranha.
I know. Well, how did you end up eating piranha fish?
My father, I call him the frustrated David Attenborough. Right. So he left school very, very young, came from an impoverished background, did very well through the years, and the better he kind of did with businesses, and my mum was in business as well, the more only way he could educate, because he didn't have much of education. He couldn't give advice on A levels or university or anything.
A bit like me to my son.
Same thing. So, but he said, I can educate you through travel, which is one of the best things that anyone can ever do. So we just used to go on these incredible trips, and one of them once was to the Amazon rainforest, and we caught piranha, literally on a bit of string with some pork meat out of a can, and you'd get a bite and you'd pull it up, and you have one of the expert tries them behind you to make sure that you don't try and take a piranha off of a hook,
because it will take
and
your
lose a
finger off.
finger. But you learn different things. So actually, we were swimming with piranha.
So how many of these trips did you do with your dad?
We did them as family. So it started off with my grandparents and my mum and dad and my sister. We used to drive around all of Europe. Then when we were about 10 or 12, we did America, United States. Again, big road trip with my grandparents. We did South Africa together. And then it was kind of Africa a lot. We did Alaska, Amazon rainforests, desert elephants, trekked for gorilla in Uganda. So we did.
I mean, it's an extraordinary job.
And this is, I think, where my food has. When you see people, when you go and see different cultures, and you have people that don't have anything at all, because we were in a very remote area. So when they offer you something, the last thing you say there is no. Whatever it tastes like, whatever you're drinking, you eat it.
You don't go, what's that?
No, I don't like fish.
Which is one of my pet hates in life, of people just you accept it because they don't have much.
Well, that's the whole basis of this podcast, because my belief is, outside of a religious belief or a medical condition or an allergy, there's no such thing as a bad ingredient. You've just had it cooked badly for you.
Very true.
Now, you're a man who, for various reasons, obviously takes very good care of yourself. And
That's right.
do you watch what you eat?
No, this is kind of a bit of a myth. See, I've educated myself a lot on nutrition. You don't have to, but I have. We're not educated on nutrition at all. These traditions of, and as you say, I've met enough people in time where I think there's a very small mindedness when people walk in somewhere and go, I don't like fish, and I don't like this, and I don't like that. And I think you just haven't tried it.
Yeah.
That's what children say. I don't like this. And you go, I say to my daughter now, you have to try it. Don't say before you've tried it. And as you cook something in a certain way, then they learn to like it. And but it's just the pigeonhole areas that you're a model, you don't eat. I'm a 14.5 stone, 6'3" guy. I joke that I need to consume about 4,000 calories if I can a day to maintain my size.
But you do work out.
I do work out
5-6 times a week.
Yeah, and I don't stop. It starts with a dog walk in the morning of 3 or 4 miles, and I from the moment we're up with the children at 7 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock, I don't really stop. There's always stuff to do. So you're just burning calories. I don't sit at a desk or sit in a car or any of those different things.
Do you ever obviously you have your Wellwear range, which might be described incorrectly as a bit of loungewear?
It's part of what we do, loungewear, yeah.
Do you ever lounge? It doesn't sound
No,
like you lounge a lot.
I'm a terrible lounger. But that's where we've kind of worked with our sweats, and it's that hybrid of people's life have changed, and no one virtually is going in a suit to somewhere then coming back and changing. There's this hybrid of you've got to have something, clothing that is meeting all areas of your life all kind of day, and that's where sort of Wellwear comes in. So it's about comfort more than anything. Right? Everything you wear, and even down to our hybrid chinos, which is like a pleated pant, is a cotton comfort material. So yeah, I'm a terrible. I never sit down. I annoy a lot of people, and they're just like past Christmas. People are like, please just sit down, please eat, please doing something. But there's always something for me to do, and something I should be doing, or something I should be learning, or that's just me. I always say I'm an inquisitive person. I want to know how something works.
Would you say driven as well?
Driven, yeah, of course.
Because you've had enormous success doing what you're doing. What do you think? Have you had any idea what has set you apart from other devastatingly handsome men who might have wanted to enter into that?
Yeah, I say as well, when you go into a model agency and you look on the wall and you meet the guys, there are better models, there's better looking people, there's people that should be doing better than me. I thought about it in a different way, and I thought about branding. That was the whole thing. Is like you had a name, and when I came into the industry, we were in an industry, one of the only industries in the world where the women were earning 5 times the amount of guys. They had the names, the brands, and everything else. So I looked at the female supermodels, and I was very fortunate to work with a couple, and ask them and speak to them. And
Who was your favourite?
Chrissy Turlington. Yeah,
I think she.
Yeah. That was the one where I couldn't really. I just said silly
I'm
things.
not going to say that out loud because I'll go home and then my wife will have a go at me for mentioning that I think Christy Turlington was the best supermodel. But you didn't start out what one would describe as handsome or attractive. I think you actually were bullied at school for how you looked.
Yeah, we had
Is that a common? I find that as a common thing with. I know a number of people who experienced that as a kid and now have a sort of Adonis-like appearance as a result of it. Was it a driver?
Well, I think I was speaking to people about this, that the most popular people, most popular, best-looking people at school almost peak. This is a real pleasure when you go back and go see them. And it's the other people, and I think that puts you. I've always said that the bullying, or not looking how I did when I grew into my looks. I still haven't grown into this nose yet. I'm still waiting for that, but hopefully it will happen soon.
We found the one thing that David Gandy doesn't like about himself: his nose.
And but it puts you in good stead because you haven't got this big-headedness. You don't. It's ingrained into you that everyone is, around you and thinking that you're a god at school and everything else.
But does the label of, I suppose, for want of a better description, sex symbol, sit comfortably with you?
Don't think about it. It's you have to. I think it's understood that that there is just flavour of the month each year with each person.
But you seem to have racked up quite a few months.
Well, that's kind of just, yeah. I mean, listen, everything is. Some people would say, you ask one person, they'll say, no, I don't think it's good looking. You speak to another person, they'll say it's all right. You speak to another person and say, it's all in the eyes in the.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
There you go.
Now, when I was reading your questionnaire, you said you don't eat an enormous amount of red meat anymore.
No, not massive.
But you would describe it as your guilty pleasure. So one of the things I've got for you here today that Jamie Shears, the chef here at Mount Street, has cooked for you, is just a plain old steak and chips, which would be my sort of, death row meal. Whereas you described yours as spaghetti vongole.
Yeah. I can eat pasta afternoon, evening, every day. Never get sick of it.
Never get sick of pasta. No. I mean, I love pasta. I mean, one of the first places I ever, the first place I ever had a job as a chef was at the Neal Street restaurant in Covent Garden, working with Gennaro Contaldo. So my love of Italian food, and also, but the other thing about Italian food is everybody has, because there's so many different regions and they have their own way of doing it. But when you talk about vongole, for example, what's in a vongole for you?
Well, there's a few as well, of course, and I've tried different variations. Some people put butter, some people put chili. To me, it's quite a plain recipe of garlic, a little bit of butter, olive oil, and I put parsley on it. Some people don't, and it's fresh seafood. It's got to be the fresh clams.
But you see, I think for me it's clams, chili, garlic, parsley.
Well, that's where the taste comes from. Is the clams.
But some people start putting concasse of tomato in, and then mussels and a little bit, and it's like no. Simplicity is everything.
Well, I think that's Italian food. Is the simplicity, and that's the beauty of it. But
I mean, not going back to what we were talking about, where models don't eat. How do you feel about a triple cooked chip?
I mean, bring them on. I mean, I've been staring at those since.
Well, I mean, for Christ's sake, start cooking in.
Goodness for that.
Because they do look very good.
I actually bought a deep fat fryer.
Oh,
this Christmas. And people like, no, air fryers. I was like, get air fryers out of my face.
Yeah.
A deep fat fryer, and they're shocked by it. But again, if you're not understanding nutrition, they're like, deep fat fryers are terrible for you. Right. I'm using a low fat vegetable oil.
Oh, now you see. I have another theory on that, because what I buy online and use in my deep fat fryer is actual beef tallow.
Oh my goodness!
Now, reason being is what made McDonald's successful was initially their fries, because their fries were cooked in beef tallow, and then somebody within the FDA in America went, "Oh, animal fat's terrible for you," but I think that's been disproven. So, and I think, to your point that I think you're making, is you don't eat it every day, but once a week, So we at home have deep fry Fridays.
Love that idea.
And what isn't improved by a deep fat fryer?
Nothing.
Exactly.
But it's the same thing as well. It's like, when especially in the UK, people will go, I can't touch pasta or bread or carbs or oils or all these different things. Cheeses. And then you go to Italy and it's bread and pastas and butters and everything else. And you don't see that many fat Italian people, Mediterranean people, should I say, because it's the Mediterranean diet. So we have this fixation on bad, carbs and calories. We're still talking about stuff in this country nutritionally like we were in the 70s. Like, this is bad for you, calorie counting. And I always say to people, they ask me, and they still don't believe me when I say it. They say, well, you must watch what you eat. I said, no, I pretty much eat anything. Yeah. I don't eat processed food.
No, don't eat anything out of a packet.
No. That's what I say to people.
Eat actual food and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
I like Tim Spector's book. Have you read that, Spoon Fed? You'd love that, because it literally dispels all those myths that you're talking about animal fats and sugars and, and all those things that we're told are terrible for you.
Yeah.
In moderation, they're part of a balanced diet.
In moderation, and that's it. And the thing is, when you go back to my, is that, my parents, with my grandparents, is when you came to Christmas, everything was a treat because it wasn't readily available. You couldn't afford it. So a turkey was a treat. Chocolates, all these different things, a bottle of whiskey. We have all these all the time. Everything is available to us. We're consuming far too many things because everything is available. The waste in, you do your deep fat fried, I do what's left in the fridge pie.
Yeah.
And I literally put everything together. What's left, and just put a puff pastry top on it.
Yeah. Well, I like Tim Spector's thing where he says eat 30 different plants a week, and people go, "Well, that's impossible." It's like, no, we're talking about spices, herbs, pulses, all those sort of things. And I will literally do that bottom tray out of the fridge.
Yeah.
And it all goes just in a roasting tray. You roast it all off, and you have a bit of protein with it, and it's a delicious thing to eat.
Well, I always call it the smell by date.
Yep.
That's another thing as well. There's something frustrating in my house. Stuff gets chucked out, and I'm like, where's that? It's past the sell by date.
No, sell by date's enough, but use your nose.
You do have to be, I think my mum takes this to the next level, though. And
when she's scraping the mould off.
Yeah.
It's fine under the mould.
On the cheese, yeah. But to the fact when she keeps something, and there's certain herbs or some dry herbs in her cupboard. They're on. I think we've lived in 3 houses. I think they've gone to each house.
Yes, I do like it when the spices travel.
Exactly, the spices travel. And there's a bottle of Genzano that's travelled as well that still doesn't seem to be opened.
There's a reason nobody's drunk that.
No,
it's filthy.
No, my dad did give me last time we were at. He said, "You want a quick beer?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." And it tasted a bit funny. And I looked at it. It was best before 2014. I said, "Dad, he's not a beer drinker." So I rocked on anyway. It was probably about 25% by the time I drank it.
Now, we've got to that time in proceedings where, based on your questionnaire, we have created a couple of spoons here.
Okay.
And it's time for me to pull out the Spooning with Mark Wogan blindfold.
Okay.
There, if you put that on, this is a trust exercise now. Does look like a small bra you're strapping to your face.
Okay, good. Full trust. Okay, here we go.
Now, this is your first spoon, sir.
Right.
I need you to open wide. I need you to open wide, and I will feed you. There we go. A little bit. There we go. Now, tell me what you're experiencing, the flavours, the textures. What have you got there? Are we enjoying it?
Sweetness. There's a fried coating, there's a cheese. It's a bit halloumi-like.
Halloumi, you say?
Probably not.
Sure. Why don't you take the blindfold off? This is based on your food hate, which is a panade scallop, deep fried, and then it's served with a raisin and caper puree.
Okay.
Did you get the caper?
I didn't get the caper. I got the sweetness came from the raisin. I thought it was a...
So seeing as you hate capers, but you were quite clear on your hate of capers, would you eat another spoon?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, knock yourself out.
Thank you,
I
will
mean,
do.
I think, you know,
But the texturing has amazed me because did I say I don't like scallops?
no.
Oh, okay, great. Because I love scallops.
Yeah.
I got this, but yeah,
you
it's
said
just the texture
you
of
said
that
you hated capers.
is so well. I just don't. Yeah, I don't like capers.
But to my point, no such
weird
thing
is
as a
that
bad
texture?
ingredient.
How weird that I did not know that was a scallop.
But that's the thing. If you remove sight from the equation, you remove a whole raft of preconception when it comes to food. And it's actually a really good way of getting kids to eat stuff that they think they hate.
Great idea, actually.
You know.
But no, it's very true because, but also the way people resent stuff is like peas. So
How can you hate?
my mother would, and my dad loved peas. There's peas with everything. So they were very much. We always had Chinese on a Friday. That was our treat, Chinese Friday. But the rest of the day was very much vegetables and meats and whatever. My mum was a great cook. But peas were boiled, bit of salt, put on your plate, and then there is an element to it as a child. You're just like, what is this green stuff? So I crush peas, lemon, butter, salt. Kids love them. And lots of people don't like vegetables. They go, oh my goodness, what's this?
I'm suspecting you're quite a good cook.
I would say I'm a cook, not a chef. So my friend is a chef. He's incredible. I'm a cook. I cook. I cook things that hopefully I've got a number of recipes that I know are winners, but I can't do what he does.
Do you? Is it instinctive cooking, or do you have a go-to cookbook, a particular
it's
chef that you love?
I think in the end, again, that it's quite. I think you just learn. Again, it's just like I've gone through. Like I can do the pasta arrabbiata. I've been trying to perfect this. I remember when I was 15 at home, just going, I want to make a good pomodoro, and putting the tomatoes in and testing it. I've got that correct now, but it's taken years for me to do it.
And what is the correct arrabbiata?
Well, it's kind of like my version of, this is how I like it. And so I don't use fresh chilies, I use dry chili. I use fresh cherry tomatoes. I do a big batch and cook everything. So a lot of the recipes are from the tin, and I'm not a big tin tomato fan.
It is time to don the blindfold again.
Okay.
As we challenge your palate.
I mean,
One more time.
The Wonder Bra.
Put the Wonder Bra around your face.
Going to embarrass myself an hour. Cool scallops halloumi.
Right. So here is your next spoon. Open wide, sir. Here we go. Now, what are we getting that time? Textures, flavours.
I can't describe it. This is embarrassing. Literally, my chef room going, you're embarrassed. I'm not speaking to you anymore. I mean, it's savoury, it's not sweet.
Yep. You have no idea what.
Is it a meat?
No, it's not a
Oh,
meat.
for goodness sake. No, I give up.
Take the blindfold off.
Seafood.
Yes.
I've just got the seafood.
You just got the seafood. You can
Sorry.
take the blindfold off and reveal it to yourself. That is a king prawn cooked in
Yeah.
chili, garlic,
I got that.
and parsley.
Okay. That's
You can have
delicious.
you can have another
I
one
will
of
have
those.
another one of those because that's I did a Thai prawns. So many ingredients in Thai cooking. I was there forever. Ginger and lemongrass and everything else. But it was delicious, I have to say. That is delicious.
Well, I'm glad. So the good thing is we've changed your opinion about capers. They do have a place in your palate, just not at the forefront.
No, again, it's that idea again. Like, so some people capers in a steak tartare.
No.
Some bit I've had it with steak tartare, you mix all in. That's fine. It's just capers done on a bit of something, and I can't stand that.
Not
That's
even
what-
not even on a piece of fish. Like, say for example, when you deep fry the capers, very nice.
Actually, yeah, that's true. Or maybe on a lovely Dover sauce, a butter sauce. And
yeah,
that's
so
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, we can.
So many,
Yeah, I would accept that.
Now, obviously, part of the reason that you've agreed to be blindfolded and fed things by me is you are here to talk about this, which is David Gandy Wellwear.
Yep.
And you very kindly brought some items along for me to try, and God, they feel good. They've got very good feel appeal. Haven't they?
Well, I think I mentioned earlier, we try and, it's about comfort.
I'm going to get rid of the tissue.
From the way
Don't need that.
sort of comfort, the way comfort works within your cognitive kind of brain. It's like people will ask you in life, why do you keep certain bits of clothing? And a lot of the time it's down to comfort and fit. And that's something I've done for many, many years. This is a collaboration we did with Hackett of London. We've always sort of done their loungewear.
You know what I like about these as a pair of loungewear bottoms, or would it be described
These
as
are
a
loungewear.
track
These are-
pant?
No, we that's loungewear.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I like is you've put the fly in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's two reasons for that. One is, if you find yourself in a public place and you, as a man, you need to go to the loo, and you don't want to have to pull the whole thing down in front of everybody else to go to the loo. And
But
also,
you don't do the one-hand pull.
well, you can do the one-hand pull, but then are you doing the one-hand pull with the cover up so that, because
You see, we all had that disaster with the one-hand pull out, and then you let go of the accidentally,
and it
and then
it's
a
all
disaster.
over
No,
the place.
absolutely.
But also, it's that thing, I think John Bishop talks about it in one of his stand-up routines, where everyone takes a look. Do you know what I mean? So when you're fully exposed like that, but then you have that other thing where people have no shame whatsoever, and they will pull the whole thing down.
Do they?
Yeah, I've been in a urinal, particularly at perhaps some kind of sporting event, and there is the man in the classic grey tracky bums, and he's just decided to pull the whole thing down, and his bum's out, and he's just like, God's sake, it's a
I've
public.
ever seen that.
Well, there's something to look forward to. But the nice thing is, you've avoided that because you have a fly.
We have working flies.
The other thing about this is, which is something that upsets a lot of people, is when you don't have the fly thing, particularly in the grey tracksuit bottom, you get that sort of weird sort of thumb nub thing pointing at you.
Yeah.
And that's a lovely way of avoiding that, isn't it?
We think about all these things
Exactly.
in our office.
Yes,
That's
we
what-
need the
that's what
fly
we-
there for nub
We
avoidance.
don't want men to have to expose their bottoms in public.
A massive thank you to David Gandy. His Wellwear range, which I can highly recommend, is available to buy online. That's it for this week for Spooning. Next week I will have another guest who we will be challenging the food they love and the food that they think they hate. Thanks as ever to Jamie Shears and the team here at the Mount Street restaurant for having us and cooking some fantastic spoons and some beautiful food for our guests. Now, if you like what we're doing, search Spooning with Mark Wogan wherever you get your podcasts from. And of course, we are available on YouTube as well. Until next week, my friends, stay beautiful.